Ready to go. We're ready to go, mate.
Yeah.
Just get going, all
Roll
right?
the
I've
theme
been
music.
waiting
Shut up.
for ages.
Shut up. I can't do it until you're quiet.
All right, I'm sorry.
Ready?
Go. All right, I'm ready to go. Can we
You
go,
can
please?
you can introduce us this time.
All right, I'll
Ready?
introduce. All right. Hello, Angus.
Hello. How's it going?
It's good, man.
How's it going, George?
It's good.
Been up to much?
Let
Let me think about this. No.
Bits and bobs. You know, life's busy. Life's busy. You?
Yeah, it's just been another week in paradise.
Another week in paradise.
Another week. Another week of running into weird scenarios that I wish I could talk about live, like on some sort of live podcast.
If
of my
only
life.
you recorded a podcast, then you could talk about these things.
Yeah, it would be so good if we had a topical.
Maybe we
theme
should.
of the
Maybe
week
that's what we
podcast.
should do. We should do a topical. We're missing a trick here.
That's definitely what we should
That is
do.
what we should do.
Should we call it Start for 10?
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
Because then we can have like a start of a 10 for each episode.
Yeah, and we can start a news story.
Lovely Macintosh.
Yeah, until eventually we get caught out with some sort of
Copyright scandal.
copyright issues.
Yeah, well.
Right, anyway.
Come at us, BBC.
He's George.
He's Angus.
Do you know, you can't see this, but as we do that, we both point at each other like it's some
We actually
tacky
do.
TV
That's
show.
weird. I haven't noticed that before.
Yeah. So, another week.
Another week.
Another week, another start of a 10.
What is our start for 10? Have we got one lined up? Or
We do.
What's the plan?
We do. This week, we are going to The Mirror.
Oh.
Yeah, it's not a... Sorry about that. It's not a ideal quality.
Well, there are worse, aren't there?
And we are talking about Britain's unluckiest pet names.
Okay.
The unluckiest pet names have been revealed. Is yours on the list?
Probably not.
Is that because you don't have a pet?
Yeah, it's because I don't have a pet.
Pets with these names often cost their owners a fortune in vet's bills and are even more likely to be hurt in road accidents.
Oh, interesting.
I'll find you the list.
Okay. Are they working that out proportionately, or?
I'm not actually sure. I haven't got that far. Charlie and Oscar are the unluckiest pet names in Britain,
Okay.
costing owners hundreds in vet's fees. For canine capers from dogs named Charlie, they land themselves with a £510 bill for problems like tummy trouble, skin complaints, and ailments from tremors to seizures. Moggies with the moniker Oscar cost £475 as they use up their 9 lives being injured in road accidents.
Wow.
The study is according to Co-op Insurance.
Okay.
Mutts called Alfie, Bella, Max, and Ruby make the top 5 doggy disaster names.
That's interesting, though, because they all sound like really common names.
Yeah, I was going to say, I know of
So
dogs
is
called
it just-
Alfie, Max,
yeah.
and Ruby.
Yeah. So are they just because there's more pets by those names? So of course there's going to be more. They're more prone to accidents because there's more of them.
It would have. I think we may have rumbled all of the science that went behind this ill thought out story. That essentially, now I read it, seems more like an advert for Co-op Insurance. The fact there's actually a link to the Co-op in the article.
Brilliant.
I think we've been had here.
Oh,
I do.
great.
Sorry, I should have read through this one. I think we have been had. There's a terrible pun as well. They've gone for top 5 catastrophe names.
Catastrophe names.
Catastrophe, but they've
That's not too
they've
bad.
actually spelled catastrophe wrong. They've missed out a H, so on the end, so it's just
Oh.
catastrophe, catastrophe. That's not ideal. That's the kind of level of reporting you get from the Mirror, really.
This is going from bad to worse.
But if you had a new dog this week and you
Yeah.
sat down and you saw
Like
this,
tomorrow.
you saw this news article, would this have influenced you?
No, not even slightly. And I probably wouldn't get insurance from the Co-op unless they were the cheapest.
Would you just go straight to Go Compare or whatever?
Probably. They're
Other-
floating Compare the Market.
Other
Did you hear about that?
insurance? I didn't.
They're floating it, and it was like, what was it? It was either I know there's a big difference between the two figures, but they're both equally ridiculous. It's either 1 billion or 12 billion. I can't quite remember, but that's the estimated value.
Which one was it?
Compare the Market. I couldn't believe it. I was like, what? Just for a price comparison site worth that much money?
It would be a huge amount.
Billions.
A 1 billion.
£1 billion.
A £1 billion
Okay,
stock
well,
market
fine,
value.
but that's pretty.
That's still insane.
That's a lot of money, which is probably some
the parent
bloke
company
called
of the
Gary.
website known for its meerkat characters is preparing to switch to public ownership.
Yeah.
The BGL Group.
probably the MD is probably called Barry.
But they've had a pretty good rise in profits from good results. How do they actually make money? Are they earning commission off of sales on it?
Yeah, of course. And they're backed obviously by Alexander, who's a multi-billionaire.
The multi-billionaire meerkat.
From
I could see that was some
Russia or wherever he's from.
He's actually.
Eastern
do you know
European.
The voice of Alex is the same man who was the owner of the guy who worked in the petrol station on the first series of Alan Partridge.
Oh, interesting.
The Geordie from the petrol station.
So a voice artist.
But he's just an actor.
Yeah,
but his voice is nothing.
No, so he's
like,
good at voices.
Yeah, so he does.
I had a voice-related unbelievable. Oh my god, the other day. So I don't know if a lot of people probably don't know, but people who watch either the animated Batman series or played any of the most recent Batman games, Arkham Asylum, Arkham this, Arkham that, loads of Arkham ones, on most recent generation consoles. The voice of the Joker, which if you listen to it's pretty maniacal, is...
Good word.
Yeah, I know, it's a great word.
You've won this evening's
word
best use
of
of
the
word.
show.
Yes.
Is voiced by Mark Hamill.
What was Mark Hamill famous for?
Famous for Luke Skywalker.
Yes, that's what he was.
Yeah, Luke Hamill, which is weird.
You'd have thought, to be honest.
Because he's really softly spoken he's like, oh, no, in Star Wars, but he's like,
and also you thought,
Joker.
to be honest, Mark Hamill could just do nothing.
Yeah, but if you look at his IMDb page, he has been in hundreds of things as a voice artist and loads of games and stuff as just random characters you wouldn't have even realised. But then I watched the TV series Catastrophe, which was brilliant, by the way, with Rob Delaney, and Sharon.
That's Sharon Horgan,
whatever her name is. Yeah, Horgan.
Very funny.
And his mother in that show is Carrie Fisher.
Yes, I knew it was Carrie Fisher. That show is absolutely hilarious. But to be honest, everything Rob Delaney does in his life is hilarious.
He is brilliant.
He's like the funniest man on Twitter.
But that's how he became famous, through being funny on Twitter.
Yeah, he was doing stand-up as well, but...
Yeah, but that's how he got known.
Yeah, he is
He is great. Shout out to Rob Delaney. Not that he'll be listening to our podcast.
But yeah...
Wouldn't that be amazing if Rob Delaney listened to this?
Go and follow that. Go and follow Rob Delaney.
So
he
funny
is like
on
the
Twitter.
funniest...
He's very ironic and very sarcastic. Most 90% of his tweets are sarcastic. So if you go on there and there's at the moment there's a lot of pro-Trump. He's not pro-Trump. No. He's being ironic.
Yeah, he's very... How far are we in with this election thing? I got a bit bored
and
switched off to it. Yeah.
November's
we've decided. Obviously, we know the candidates now. We know the possibilities. We know that we've either got Trump. We've basically got Trump versus Clinton, and there's another lady as well who seems to be harbouring about 12%. Why are you giving me?
Can you hear the buzz?
No. Don't give me hand signals. You spoilt my flow.
Oh, so yeah, I know, but I was trying to stop you. We can continue from where you were at. Because you're talking about Hillary. Yeah,
there's some other person who's got about 12% of the vote as well, but I don't think they're going to have enough of a.
Well, I heard
influence on it.
No, well, she's the Democratic nominee, and he is the Republican nominee. But I heard their official nominee. But I heard that there's a ex-CIA guy who is running as a Republican candidate too. And he's backed by a load of people within the Republican Party because he's worked for the Republican Party for years. And he is actually going to run for president. And what I thought about the other day is all the Republicans who don't agree with Trump should all run. All of them. Just to take votes away from Trump, because someone will vote for them.
Yeah, but then they're not going to have enough of a majority to defeat Clinton.
No, but that doesn't matter.
Well, it does, because then they're never going to get into power.
Well, true, but it's either everything or nothing, isn't it?
Yeah. It was last week, wasn't it? Didn't Trump say? Didn't he say that he was going to somebody was going to plan a shooting against Hillary Clinton or something absolutely insane? And then the CIA are like,
yeah, he got caught out for alluding to it in one of his.
Yeah, and you just can't say things like that.
No, you really can't.
You honestly you can't. And yeah, he's not a very.
I'm not sure how sane he is.
We don't need to sit here and state the obvious, but he's a bit of a
loon.
But I lose interest in it because it's taken so long for it to progress beyond.
A long time, because even though the vote's in November, they don't change till like January or something, I think.
And also...
Do they have holidays like we do in this country?
What do you mean?
Does Congress and the White House, they have a holiday?
Yeah, we go on like summer break from Parliament forever, don't we?
Yeah, they shut down in like May and don't come back till September or something.
Yeah, they just do what the hell they like for a while. And you know what? The country still carries on despite nothing happening.
Unless there's an EU referendum.
Yeah, that threw a spanner in the works, didn't it?
Yeah, it did.
Oh, we've got all that whole Labour leadership thing going off as well at the moment.
Yeah, and Theresa May spoke to Putin the other day.
Yeah.
It was quite interesting because they both agreed that Russian-British relations probably weren't very good.
That's a good
agreement. Which I thought was quite funny.
It's a bit of an oxymoron, isn't it? Agreeing that we disagree.
Agreeing that we don't agree with each other.
Well, that's about the most agreement we're ever going to get.
So they've both agreed that we should try harder
in
our relationship.
And also, how much have we spent to fly two people to be in
no,
the same room?
No, they didn't fly. They did it over
We did
phone.
it on Skype.
We did it over the phone, yeah. Putin spoke.
Are we going to get another
Theresa
brilliant
May.
picture? Like, do you remember that picture of David Cameron on the phone? And then people used to just send
just
back...
meme it.
People used to send back pictures to him, like, "Hi, David, I'm in on that call too."
Yeah.
That was a good...
That was a good moment.
A classic meme.
So she and he spoke. Which is interesting, because I heard that Putin doesn't speak in English very often.
So what? Did he actually speak in English?
He must have done, because unless Teresa's fluent Russian. But I've heard
she's a lizard,
he doesn't...
isn't she? So maybe they both spoke in lizard.
He's not keen on speaking English. But I heard him speak in English.
He's not keen in English, is he? Just in general.
He's fluid. Yeah,
he is fluid. He can take the shape of any container.
He is fluent English.
He can fit inside a pint glass. Did you know that Putin can?
Oh, great. Yeah,
he can pour himself inside a pint glass.
Thanks, Angus. Great.
I love the pictures of him like riding horses and stuff.
Great.
Shirtless photos of him.
I do. I actually like him. I do.
We've gone full circle. Our first episodes of the podcast, we essentially assassinated
like
Putin. Now you've gone full circle.
I think
you can say he's misunderstood.
No, he's not misunderstood because he's quite
the Hitler argument, isn't it?
He's quite well understood, actually.
He was a great public speaker. Not you weird Nazi sympathiser.
There was a lot of stuff that Hitler did that was good. That gets overlooked.
George, don't. Honestly, I'm cutting you off. No, we're not. We're not doing
German
this.
history pre-39.
No, I'm not interested. I'm not interested. Anything beyond what he did in 39 makes it all look awful.
He was a good leader. He was.
No, he wasn't.
Well, you can't argue he wasn't a good leader. He was a good leader.
Well, he
was a terrible man, but a good
leader. He
leader.
managed to convince people to do anything.
Well, exactly. He was a fascist, but he was a good leader. Anyway, I quite like Putin. I think he's
great. We go from Hitler back to Putin.
He's good.
Out of the frying pan and into the fire.
But I don't know. Everyone has this thing against Russia, but they don't...
Yeah, because every single time anybody says anything bad about them, they have another military parade where they put through 50,000 nuclear warheads getting marched through the streets.
That was something else that came out recently, that official British military assessment came back saying Russia would outgun us.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, I probably could have guessed that, considering there's like 1 billion of them. And there's
also,
only about
it's a waste of time even entering the war with it. And it'll never happen anyway.
No, it won't happen.
Nobody's ever going to even enter the... Yeah, exactly. And we don't want to destroy the top half of the planet.
Just destroy the whole world.
The whole northern hemisphere doesn't need to just disappear, does it?
Anyway, I like Putin. I don't agree with a lot of his policies, but I like him.
To be fair, I don't actually know any of his policies, because it's not like we get to read
some
his...
Some of them are a bit extreme.
But also, I kind of feel, is Russia one of those places that's so big that he doesn't actually have a say in all corners of it, if you see what I mean? Because there's some parts of Russia that are just so far off the grid and so weird, they almost don't even fall under governance.
There are probably a lot of places that are just like mafia-led, mafia-run.
Yeah. And also...
But they're probably okay with that, because mafia-run places often are quite well-run, aren't they?
Yeah. It's just like having a town council.
Yeah, but
then people just
die.
disappear. And you wake up with a horse's head in your bed.
But normally only bad people. This is the thing as well with mafia. I don't think they're all bad. Surely they only kill people who deserve to be killed.
You'd like to hope so.
Because if I was just like wandering down the street, they're not just going to come up behind me and shoot me in the back of the head just because I felt like it.
No, that you don't get that anywhere. Which is even in London, gang killings. That's why the police aren't actually overly interested in
'Cause they're just
pursuing it.
criminals killing
Because,
criminals.
Yeah, they only. It's very, very rare that they kill somebody outside of the other gang.
Surely it's only accidental and stuff.
Yeah, and obviously we don't just want people killing each other
But
on
then,
the streets.
do you remember after France, after the attacks in Paris?
Which ones? Charlie
The
Hebdo? Or...
No, the Stade de France ones.
Okay, yep.
And the
Isn't it awful that we have to say which ones to tax in
and
France?
the concert one. I forget the name of the band.
The
Eagles of Death
Bataclan.
Metal.
Yeah.
The Bataclan, yeah. I think it was the New York Mafia, or one of the New York Mafias. I'm sure there's many of them. One of them basically turned around and was like, "If ISIS try it here, we will."
We'll take up.
We'll
We'll
take it out.
reclaim
We'll
the
take them out.
streets.
Yeah, basically the mafia declared war on ISIS in New York, which was quite interesting because then it could kind of reinforces that actually the mafia are there for the greater good.
Yeah.
The greater good.
Yeah. Part of me just thinks that turning a blind eye to some of these things are actually for the best.
Well, I think we do. Because it'll be in the news a lot more otherwise.
Yeah, and also it's a waste of time and resources.
Yeah, they're very clever people as well, I think.
Yeah, well, you have to be fairly clever not to get caught anyway, because you can't be too
true.
obvious. But you have to be. But they reach this level where they can be obvious enough that it doesn't cost them too much.
Yeah. I suppose they do have negative effects, though, bringing drugs in and stuff, and that kills people. And
Yeah, yeah. You don't really want.
stuff like that's probably
Do they
bad.
do ever? Do they? Is there
Bringing
anything other
guns
than
in
the
and stuff.
mafia, other than guns and drugs?
I'm sure there is. There's got to be, like, mafia agencies that just run, like, marketing companies and things.
Mafia marketing.
Yeah.
What? And they'll get you to the top of Google.
Yeah.
They're really, really good
They'll
with search
They'll
terms.
get your hotel website to the top of Google. Surely.
Classic. You can have you have 5 clients who are all hotels in Torquay, and they're all going to get to the top of Google. Yeah, great.
Yeah, mafia-led SEO.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe there are mafia marketing companies. Maybe there are mafia laundrettes. Well, there probably are because that's where they
just
launder
the
their money.
Oh, a horrible, horrible gag.
There probably are things like that. I was in Bristol the other day, a little while ago, and there was an Italian restaurant. Like just
Was it absolutely empty.
A sort of a half shady Italian restaurant with a
Those
bloke
places
stood
just
outside, like quite a
scream to
big,
you, drug
like a
dealing, money laundering.
big guy out on the door, and you kind of
Mm.
thought, and it was like the afternoon, so it's not like he was trying to get business. And I was thinking, this seems a bit, it's like meat hanging from the windows. It looked lovely, but it sort of had this air about it. And I thought about it for a second. It was probably mafia run, but then I thought about it for a minute and thought, actually, that's probably the best Italian restaurant in town.
Yeah.
If that's the Italian mafia running that place, the food in there is going to be on point.
That's the trick to it, isn't it? You never go to a restaurant that looks empty.
Well, no.
You want to go to the restaurant that you can't get a table in.
Yeah, or the mafia run.
Because all that. Maybe
Yeah.
that's what you can glean from tonight.
Maybe. Or go to the mafia run Italian restaurants.
Is that something you can add? Is that something you can put in on Google when you're on your like TripAdvisor when you're looking for
run
them?
by Tony from the from a Sicilian.
I knew you were going
Sicilian
for Tony.
mafia. I don't know any of the names of mafia houses or
Big
families.
Tony.
Big Tony.
I knew you were going. It's not like Bugsy Malone.
No, we're not going. That's too obvious.
Pie Guns.
Tony.
That's a weird film, isn't it, Bugsy Malone?
Yeah, where they fire cream.
Cream pies out
At
of
each
guns. Yeah.
Yeah.
And they have like
But it's
a
kids.
Tommy gun.
Yeah.
Kids firing cream pies out
But
of
it's
Tommy
like it's one of those interesting concepts that throw like the opposites against each other, don't they?
Yeah, I guess so.
Challenging perceptions.
When I've watched Bugsy Malone, I definitely haven't sat there
No,
and gone,
I know.
well, this is challenging my
but it's
perception.
subconscious, isn't it?
Yeah, I hate these
Child-
things.
like
that-
children killing children is something that people really struggle with.
It sounds like you're trying to look into this like you're writing an English essay.
Oh no!
Do you remember this?
No.
Why?
How does the author create tension in this prose?
Yeah, exactly that. Or
I don't
or,
care.
Or analysing the opening to The Simpsons. The
That
kids
was
will
good.
love
That's
it because it's all about The Simpsons.
It's a good excuse to watch The Simpsons.
After we've watched the opening titles to The Simpsons 400 times, I did not give a damn about
we
the
used to
opening
do that
titles.
with films. I think it was Harry Potter and one of them. I don't know which one. Azkaban, I think.
Oh
And we
my.
watched the first 20 minutes about 100 times.
We watched the whole of Romeo and Juliet, like this VHS horrible version of it. I swear we watched that. I swear we watched that about 9 times.
Oh, that was great. Well, we watched the modern one, the Baz Luhrmann one with Leonardo DiCaprio and whatever the girl's name was. Really good soundtrack.
Really good soundtrack.
By Baz Luhrmann.
Was it a Baz Luhrmann one?
It was, yeah.
Wow.
And that was great. We watched that about 15 times, but then the proper
essentially, if you watch any film 15 times, you remove all enjoyment from it.
Yeah, but then we watched the proper Romeo and Juliet.
The VHS one.
In fact, we watched about half of it once because it was terrible.
Yeah. Well,
but that's only because the actress that played Juliet was about 14, and the guy that played Romeo was about 24. And it was obvious, and it was weird, and we were like, "No, I'm not into this at all." Because in the story, that's what they say. She's about like 14 or 13, and he's like 21.
That's very odd.
But times
have changed.
Times have changed.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean we have to recreate the VHS version.
No, I don't think they should.
They shouldn't.
But
have ever done that.
I think the actress was young as well in the film.
And it was definitely one of those ones where we had supply teachers in and we carried on lying about where we'd started watching the film. So
yeah,
we
used
just
to do that
anything.
a lot. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
We haven't watched anything.
We only watched the first 5 minutes at the end of the last
we'll just watch
show.
from the start again.
But it says on the notes here you're halfway through. No. What's it about? Who's Romeo?
I swear we watched I swear as well. There was this one video we used to watch in geography about bananas, and I have seen the banana video in geography.
I don't know.
About 74 times.
I don't know.
I saw Miss Miller in Trago the other day.
Really?
I think it's really weird. Like, how long have we left school now?
I haven't seen her.
I don't know. You don't call college
4 years.
When you're sixth form.
That's a bit
different.
So 6 years.
6 years ago since you were in your school
and that was
uniform.
the end. That was the summer that we had left.
So it's 6.5 years ago.
Yeah,
that's quite a long
time.
Especially if you're only 22. That's a quarter of your life, really.
That's crazy.
Think about it like that. So you've been out of school for a quarter of the time you've been out of school as long as you spent your entire time there. So a lot of water's gone under the bridge. So it is one of those things that you can look back on. But it is when you used to think
seeing teachers is weird.
Yeah, seeing teachers or thinking, oh, that was a hard day.
I saw Mike Sessions.
I don't remember these names.
You know Mr. Sessions?
Mr. Sessions.
History teacher.
Yeah.
Mike Sessions?
Yeah.
Seen him.
I didn't know them by their first names. I wasn't cool enough.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I still look back on my school days and just wish I was worse. I wish I was just more badly behaved. Because I realised that the consequences were just none. Yeah, everybody was like, "Oh, it'll go on your record. You'll get an whoever talks about your record."
I'm not going to tell my children. I'm going to tell my children it doesn't exist.
What? So but then your kids are going to be absolute terrors.
No, they won't. They'll be well behaved because they'll respect it.
No, they. George, if somebody told you that essentially all they made were empty threats the entire time, you'd have been an awful.
Yeah, I probably would have. Actually, you're right.
Yes.
I don't know. It's difficult, isn't it?
You don't want to become that person.
But at the same time, I know when they get to 22 and they look back,
and they'll wish that they were just more.
They'll wish they were more.
They wish they were
not
worse behaved.
Naughty or worse behaved, but just enjoy themselves more.
Essentially, the only thing that matters is the last qualification that you have.
Yeah.
And everything that comes before it, you might as well set on fire.
Anyone can go to university nowadays.
Yeah.
Not that that'll stay like that. But.
So as soon as you complete another level of education beyond the last one, you wasted your time on everything you've done previously.
Yeah.
Which is that's disheartening.
But GCSEs only last 5 years.
So
our GCSEs are expired, and if you use them for a job or for an official something, because I went to college after sixth form, because I did an apprenticeship, so I went to college and got a qualification at college, and they said, "Oh, when did you leave school?" And I was like, "Oh, I can't remember, a couple of years, or whatever it was." And they were like, "Oh, okay, so it's within 5 years, because otherwise we can't accept GCSEs as official qualifications."
What a load of rubbish!
So if I hadn't,
if I was redo your maths, you
do like a basic maths, English, and science test.
Oh, awful.
Or in fact, I think it's not. I don't think it's science actually. I think it's like an IT test. They check that you can Google things, because I had to do that one.
Great. Despite you working for a computer company,
you literally have to Google something as part of the test. But anyway.
Yeah, that was. And the guy who came and tested you had the limpest handshake. That's all I remember.
Oh yeah, that guy. Yeah.
That was awful.
Can't remember his name though.
And even if we could remember his name, it wouldn't be a good idea to call him out here, would it?
No. I don't remember his name though.
Right. Yeah, it is disappointing to know that my qualifications are slowly expiring.
I know. It's sad, isn't it? But then you're earning a qualification.
I couldn't actually tell you what I got in my A levels.
You don't need to know because you're earning qualifications right now.
What?
The qualification of life.
Yeah. what I do is like work and whatever. Essentially, is the only qualification you have is your portfolio.
It is. It's your experience.
I don't have any.
Definitely.
I don't have any qualifications in things
Definitely.
I do.
Once you're out in the world of work, you quickly realise that experience is worth more than any bit of paper.
And everything you've done previously, all it's done is open the door to get you to the point that you were at.
Because again, but at the same time, there are so many jobs that will not look at your CV if you don't have a degree, which is so stupid because you can have a degree in knitting or 4 years experience in the industry, but they'll throw away the 4-year experience one because they're looking for someone that has a degree.
I think in some places they would do that, but in other places they wouldn't.
Yeah, no,
be as
perhaps not. But
crazy.
but as a crazy example,
aren't they putting university fees up again?
Yeah, they're by 250 quid or something.
Yeah, I don't mind the principle is that they're putting them up again.
But Corbyn has said he's going to get rid of them. That's one of his policies.
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy though because my girlfriend has left university last year, and this year she got her first, or recently she got her first statement through for her student loan. And I was looking at it the other day. Oh my god, you wouldn't believe it. So the interest is what gets you. Right, it's not the actual loan.
Yeah, you won't ever
interest.
actually pay off the.
No,
like, you don't ever.
So we worked it out.
You never tread water, do you?
No, her and her dad
sinking.
worked it out, and it's like she'll have to earn. I think it's like 35 grand because obviously when you earn, I think it's up to 25 or something or whatever it is, you pay an amount. So she has to earn like 35 grand for the rest of her working career to pay the interest off of her student loan. She will never be able to pay
and also,
the full amount.
There's no way on earth. What's the average UK earning? It's like of a graduate UK earning. It's probably
like
about
20 something.
It's probably like
23,
low
like
20s.
Yeah.
So
it's
what's
mad.
the point in having a scheme?
Well, this is the point. What's the point in having to pay it back when no one can afford to pay back the loan or even the interest, let alone the loan?
This is why money is just stupid, isn't it? So what we've actually done is we've devalued our own currency by doing this.
Yeah, we actually have.
Essentially, yeah. And also,
but that's why we campaigned
thinking
against
back on
it.
What I said about 2 minutes ago about the principle of whatchamacallit's going, the university fees go up. They kind of have to. Inflation means that they have to. I mean, they haven't gone up for 4 years.
Yeah, but they shouldn't go up because they
should go up at
the government
inflation.
should just be paying for it.
I don't think we can afford to. What else should the government be paying
But the government's doing it anyway.
Well, yeah, exactly. So at what point? But then if their government are doing it anyway, it doesn't matter about it doesn't
make a difference.
It's a moot point. It's a
moot point. It's a moot point. If they put the prices up, all they're doing is screwing themselves.
Do you know? I just feel like I've just had a light bulb moment there with you. There, I'm no longer going to be even bothered about it because it is a totally.
It is. This is what I realised. So I was looking at this statement the other day,
totally
and I was looking at it, and I just threw it out of my hand and said, "Well, you're never gonna pay that off, are you?"
Yeah.
And she's like, no, the whole thing's pointless.
But it doesn't matter that you're not going to pay off because you're not penalised for it, and you damn right you shouldn't be penalised for not paying it off.
Well, they are because they're adding interest the more you don't pay it off, but you're never going to pay it off.
Yeah, but you're never going to pay off the interest anyway,
so
it doesn't matter.
The whole thing's stupid. Why?
But
I don't understand.
At the peril that they could change the rules at any moment, and you do have to. Start
I don't think that they
off.
could do it for historic.
I don't think they can retrospectively
that wouldn't
do
be
it.
allowed. I don't think that the courts would allow that to happen. There would just be a class action lawsuit where millions of students took the government to court and said no. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess retrospectively.
Or in fact, NUS would do it. The students wouldn't even have to do it.
Yeah, that is interesting.
It's just stupid. It's just crazy. Why they don't just make it free, but you get your maintenance loan and you pay your maintenance loan like a normal loan? That would be the best way to do it because that would stop people from taking advantage of the maintenance loan, which would help the government anyway. And then it would force people into getting jobs, which I think is a good idea because a job could focus you while you're at university because you have to manage your time even better than
some
you are.
degrees won't even let you. And also, I don't agree. At
some
point,
fine. Some degrees you can't, I know.
You physically couldn't.
Some you physically can't, but
but
that's why the maintenance loan is
how
available.
How many degrees are 11 hours a week? And you absolutely could.
Yeah, not many.
Well, you
I don't think there are many where you actually don't have that much free time, especially not in your first couple of years. Your last year I can understand.
I think there are a lot of degrees that you could do.
You could do work, definitely.
You could absolutely, you have 11 hours.
One night a
week.
One night. That's all you'd have to do. One day of work a week, and you'd get enough to just tide you through.
I'm not sure.
Anyway, this is a ridiculous debate.
I think I do think the other thing that gets people really, really angry is how wasteful spending is within the organisations of universities as well.
Huge.
I mean, even like for the classic one with us is always in our local news. Plymouth University just hemorrhage money.
Yeah.
They spent like £1 million on that screen in the to put up in front of the thing, didn't they? And they didn't have the planning permission to show moving pictures, so it can only show slideshows. So they had to either take it down or just those two slideshows. They spent however many thousands on these chairs for the deans of the university to sit on while they hand out the degrees. They spent like £100,000 on these posh chairs. And students are like, you put our fees up for this.
Well, this is another thing.
I know that's not what happened, but it certainly feels like that.
So again, Jazz, when she was at uni, she went to Exeter. All right, so she paid well, she hasn't paid it, but she was paying £9,000 a year to go for the privilege, right? And when you join at Exeter University, the figures aren't quite right, but you get, I think, 10 photocopies for your 3-year degree.
So you're allowed 10 free photocopies.
Yeah. And then after that, you have to pay something like 5p photocopy.
5p a sheet.
And bear in mind, these are students, so they're constantly... a lot of books are reference books.
Yeah,
so you have to take photocopies of stuff.
You spend a
so you spend £9,000 a year on university fees, and then you have to pay for photocopying. For fucking photocopying. Why don't they just get intelligent photocopiers where you can email PDFs to yourself, and there's no cost involved?
Yes.
They just pay they pay £10,000 for a printer,
we're like
and then that's
down
it.
the rainforest doing this as well.
Yeah, mental.
And also, who keeps sheets? Nobody.
It's crazy.
Nobody wants to go home into their tiny flat that they spend £1 million for.
Yeah,
as well.
Nearly £500 a month.
Yeah, a stupid rate on that has no space to keep. Oh, hang on, can I just move my mountain of photocopied paper so I can open the door?
Mental. It's just the whole system is broken.
It is very much so.
It'll probably turn around though in a few years, and no one will go to university again, and loads will shut, and loads will go bust.
I think the financial side of things. I think it'll reach a tipping point.
Yeah.
But demand on university places will go up again. It'll be supply and demand.
It'll be. I don't know. I have a feeling the whole thing will crash, and people will go back to more not manual labour,
vocational studies.
Actually, like vocational stuff.
And I think a lot of things. The problem is with all the universities, nobody wants to be seen as a budget university.
Yeah,
so they all keep putting their price up so that they are on the same level as, because nobody's prepared to say that they're a second tier, cheaper university.
Yeah, I know.
And that's essentially the issue.
I know.
But
it's difficult for us to talk because neither of us have actually been.
No, that wasn't it wouldn't have ever worked for however my life's turned out, for circumstances beyond that. But it didn't work. But equally, in the line of my interests and work, creative industries and things like that, you only go to. What you
do is more important.
You go to if you left school and you wanted to go into the creative industries, film or as a photographer or something, and you didn't already have any work, you didn't have a portfolio, you didn't have anything going for you, 100% go.
Definitely.
Because what you're going to do there at university is essentially building your thing.
It is. It gives you the time to do it. And connections as well. You meet people in guest lecturers and stuff that are in the industry,
and you get a feel for where you were going. But at the time when to be fair, my circumstances have changed wildly in 2-3 years. But at the time, it wouldn't have helped. It wouldn't have helped me at all. One iota. It would have been a total.
No. I wanted to earn money, so I left.
While I was working that time, it wouldn't have made any jot of difference.
I wanted to get out and earn and try and push my career that way. So I just went and got an apprenticeship. And I was earning £100 a week when I first started my apprenticeship.
Yeah, that's how much I started on.
Which is crazy.
For a year, it was pretty.
It's
crushing.
like £5,000 a year. It's mental.
But
at least I wasn't spending £10,000 a year going to university.
But the problem was we were lucky because when we did that, we were living at home.
Yeah, living with our parents and didn't have the cost.
And didn't have the cost, so we didn't
Very
have
lucky.
to pay home rent because your wages effectively went nowhere.
Yeah, they went into fuel. And the odd food.
It honestly got to the point where to drive to work cost £30 in petrol, and you're only earning a third of your money went on to go back to work. It was
But that's all the initial apprenticeship is for. Is just to get you.
You do get taken
experience.
the mick of, really, though, the financials of the.
Basically, it's what you're working for free.
Yeah.
But your costs are covered by the company.
Yeah.
That's the point.
But then it depends. If you've got a good apprenticeship or a not so good apprenticeship, but it worked. It worked for us. It was great.
Did work, yeah.
Yeah, it was
good.
perfect. But
Good.
it was.
I recommend them.
Yeah, I think more people, and like you said, I think more people probably will go down that neck of the woods.
I think it's a cool way to go. You definitely you get a chance to meet people and do things that you wouldn't.
Didn't the law change that you have to stay in education for longer now anyway?
Yeah, you
can't.
Yeah, you can't leave till 18.
So lots
you
of
have
people
to go to
probably
you have to go to sixth form or college.
College stuff.
Yeah, for 2 years, isn't it? Get your A levels.
Really changed too much. Not many.
Well, I left at that age.
Not many people leave school at 16.
No, and I think a lot of them go to college anyway.
And not many people properly leave school. They might go to. You might go and do an apprenticeship or whatever, but you're not gonna. I can't think of anybody who did that actually.
No, I have no idea. I think I don't know. Yeah, no, I think people tend to go to college or just sixth form.
Yeah.
Wow, that was ridiculous. Spoke a lot about university, considering it's something neither of us have done.
But like you said, I feel it works for most people. It does work.
It
for
does.
most people.
It does. Yeah, it does. But I've always thought university isn't about necessarily just learning about the subject that you choose to go and read. It's about learning about social.
It's growing up as well.
Yeah, you like people change so much when they go to university. Yeah,
that's my one thing. I would have quite liked to do that.
The social side of it is I don't think it's worth the money, but it's worth the good times are worth the bad times at uni, I'd say.
Yeah, and I think
from what I've seen,
I would have quite liked to have got out there and done that side of things. I could
have
got behind that.
That'd have been really cool. Yeah.
Personally, from my point of view, it's an incredibly unique point of view. But with my health and whatever, it just 100% wouldn't have worked.
Yeah.
So and that's what takes me back to wishing that I was less well behaved in school, because it literally made zero difference.
No difference.
I should have just had as much fun as physically possible at the time.
Yeah.
But who says you have to be naughty to have fun?
No, it's true. Yeah. You could be cheeky.
I think I probably was a bit cheeky anyway.
Yeah, I think a lot of people were.
But yes.
Continue with music.
So that
was a journey.
We started
through
talking about unlucky pet names, and ended up talking for a long time
mammoth
about
conversation about education system.
Education. Yeah,
it's an interesting topic though. It's relevant.
Yeah, and you did at one point. I did have to drag you back from the depths of sympathising for Hitler.
I didn't.
So we will.
This is I can't. I'm not going to even try.
He's not
I'm not a Nazi sympathiser.
You can't even say it. He's not even going to.
There's a lot of history there that people don't know.
Is that my homework for this week? Go back and
go and learn about Hitler's rise to power. Don't learn about what Hitler did during the war. Just learn about his rise to power. Very interesting.
I don't think it's something I need to fill my brain with.
No, you don't need to at all.
I think I'm just going to carry on watching the end of the Olympics and
good idea.
Call it that.
Yeah,
he'll be fine.
Yeah.
Right.
Thanks, guys.
You can find us on Twitter.
Write us a review and we'll PayPal you a pound.
And we can do the old. Just talk to us about. Call us out on what we've said wrong as well.
Yeah, we love it
happens.
when people do that.
And mainly just give George stick about his Nazi sympathising.
Oh, great.
Yeah. And
or you can stick up for me if you know awesome things that Hitler did before the war, before he went crazy. You can stick up for me.
He did nothing. He was always
They invented the computer. They invented Fanta, for fuck's sake.
What, the drink?
Well, yeah, the
drink?
Nazis didn't, but it was a byproduct of the war, yeah.
Don't go dropping bombshells on that as we're on the outro music.
Sorry, guys.
That was great.
Yep, Fanta. And also in Germany, Fanta and Coke mixed together in a glass is a thing. Just throwing that out there.
Well, that sounds vile. Actually disgusting.
I know. It's an actual thing, though. It actually is. I've never tried. It's got a name, but I can't
Canta?
No.
Cockanta? I don't know.
No, it has got a name. It's like Fresca or something.
Right. Anyway,
thanks, guys.
An episode of Start for 10.
He's Angus.
He's George.